What's going on, family? Thank y'all for joining me on another episode of Abandoned Voices. Joining me today, Mr. Mark Firmin. And he's the director, or is it?
Executive director.
Executive director, excuse me, higher, of Angel's Place, right?
Right.
Gotcha. And Angel Place is, you know what? Let me not tell this, because I'm going to mess it up.
Oh,
What's going on, man?
Not much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Angel's Place is a nonprofit that helps provide support services to a child with a life-threatening disease and their families. And we provide ongoing support services in a loving, caring manner. We try to take care of some of the non-medical services. So, you know, when a child gets diagnosed with a life-threatening disease, family's world gets turned upside down.
Yeah, definitely.
And we kind of help out. We step in where they and think of things that they wouldn't think of. We do respite care, which is a trained volunteer will go into the hospital room and check with the family and see how they're doing and stay with the child if it gives the caregivers a break. We also, they'll keep track on what's going on with the families. We keep progress notes on all of our families.
So how do y'all find the families? The families got to find you guys?
The families are referred to us when a child's admitted to the hospital. If, depending on the situation, they'll get a social worker.
Okay.
And the social worker knows what we do. So if they think we can help, they'll refer them to us.
Okay.
And we'll go in and do the intake. We're working out of 3 hospitals right now. Ochsner, Children's, and we just got our first client from Tulane Lakeside. So they refer them to us. We'll go in and do the intake, and then that's where the relationship starts. We have trained volunteers that go in probably. We're doing a lot of training right now. So we're going to be up to sending volunteers a couple times a week to each of the hospitals, just to check on the patients, check if they're in clinic or if they're in a hospital room. Just check on them and see how they're doing.
All right. So you say life-threatening diseases is like this life-threatening, like before death, or just? Well,
it's a lot of if they're diagnosed with cancer, we get a lot of leukemia. We have heart defects.
Okay.
Anything that's considered to be life-threatening. Some of our kids do go into remission. Some of our kids are cured. Some of our kids they may pass away. Luckily, I can say on my watch, we haven't had too many pass away, but we have had some.
And that's hard, huh?
It's the worst thing in the world, and I take it so hard. We just had recently 2 toddlers pass away, a 7-month-old and a 9-month-old, in like the same weekend. It was just, and I didn't even know them. My activities director knew, and she took it hard, and we all took it hard in the office.
Oh wow! So how long you been doing this for?
I have been doing this. I am almost at 3 years in August, and we've up to about 90 kids that we take care of all over Louisiana and southern Mississippi. And we do gift cards if it's needed. That can help take care of toiletries or gas or food if they need it. Some of our families come from far away, as far as Monroe, as far as the Gulf Coast, just to come get treatment in the hospital. Southern Mississippi doesn't have a children's hospital. I think they have to go past Jackson to get someplace, so they come to New Orleans. So if they need gas to go back and forth, or they need toiletries or anything that's unexpected, maybe pay for a co-payment or something like that, we do Visa cards. We do Visa, Walmart, and Shell are our biggest gift cards.
Visa, Walmart, Shell.
Visa they can use anywhere, and Walmart, there's always a Walmart nearby someplace that they can go to and get something.
It's Walmart everywhere.
Right. So, and we do events for them. We do a Halloween party. We get a summer carnival coming up. We have a Easter party. We have a Christmas party, and we do Christmas.
I was on your website, so you had a lot of activities going on.
Right.
It looks fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I mean, for Christmas we gather all our wish list from all the kids, and we try to get them what they want. And we had a very successful Christmas this past year, and luckily the staff in the office, we all kind of worked together, and we were able to get all of our kids adopted. And sometimes the kid that's in treatment during Christmas, they'll get the laptop or the tablet or the game console.
What do you mean by get them adopted?
We usually have people that come forward and say, "What can I do to help a child?" And we'll give them the child's wish list.
Okay.
So they can. It's almost like a.
I thought you meant like the parents give them up and somebody.
Oh no. The parents are very strong.
I give
parents
adoption, so basically
so
somebody adopt
the
kid
child for Christmas.
Gotcha.
Right. So yeah, that's been very successful. So we're hoping to have another successful year this coming Christmas.
That's pretty cool.
So
is it a limit on the amount of kids you can take at one time?
You know,
we are about being a nonprofit.
We are. Now, we go through our list every year. If we haven't heard from some of our families in a while, if they don't take advantage of our services, we can put them on what's called an inspiration list. We'll invite them to things, but they don't get the constant services that we give them. But yes, we do try to monitor because our resources are limited. But we are up to 90 right now.
90 kids?
90 kids. I think we could probably go up to 100, but we're trying to watch our numbers right now. So, because sometimes we get a kid that, like, we have a little boy that's in Hammond, and you know, we hear from him we invite them to activities and things, but they're not in the hospital all the time, and you know, if they don't take advantage of our services, well, then we'll put them on the inspiration list, and we'll give them a gift card at Christmas. So it'll be limited.
Don't cut them off completely.
Right, we don't cut them off completely. And if there was a need that came back, then we could always take them back and put them back on our critical list, which is our the ones that get our services, ongoing services, all 24/7. So, and we, you know, we're getting ready to do a big carnival in July. It's put on by a company named Firmin Financial. They put on this.
What is it called?
Firmin Financial. Okay. It's a financial. They provide benefits and all to people that work at churches, actually. And they throw on this big carnival for us, and they have face painting and clowns and games, and the kids come in and they all get they all win every prize. Every you know, they may miss 3 targets in a row and they get a prize. It's just everybody's a winner. Everybody's a winner, and it's wonderful. But this was started about 23 years ago by somebody named Anita Guilford.
Anita Guilford. She was a nurse at Ochsner, and her son was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. With who?
With non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's a type of cancer.
Oh.
And it's a mouthful. And she prayed and said, if you get my son through this, I will start helping other families with this. So she started Angel's Place. And she recently had to retire, and they came in. I was involved with this nonprofit for years. I had taken over as executive director, so they approached me about taking over, and it's been a journey.
So it left in good hands.
I think so.
So how long you been taking over? How long have you been?
I'm almost finished my 3rd year. So,
for support the kids, is there a certain age limit to the kids?
You know, actually, well, we kind of take them. We can take them as an infant to about 19 years. We have a few kids that are still in need of our services, so they're a little bit older. We have about 3 or 4 like that. Like we have one child, not even a child anymore. His name's Bryce. He lives in Garyville. He has a syndrome where he just has brain tumors in his head. Wow. And he's dependent on his 70-year-old dad to take care of him. 70-year-old dad, and his dad's had a lot of physical problems himself, and they live in a trailer. It's the epitome of poverty. As I went to go bring him a Thanksgiving meal, which is something we do, and as soon as I walked in the trailer, my foot kind of sank in the floor. It was really sad, and I mean, they don't have much, but he takes care of his son, and they're still dependent on us for Christmas presents and things like that. So we keep them on our census. He recently got put in hospice, so we don't know where that's going, but you know, we take care of them, and we have people that help us with that. So we depend on the community for all of the support. I mean, we function on fundraisers, grants, and donations.
Wow. So as far as I see you function on the community, holiday to help. So is that easy to get people to donate and help? Or you kind of...
It is. It comes and goes. Around Christmas, everybody wants to give. This is a really slow time right now, but we are always in need of. We can't do this without financial resources. We depend on donations. We do have a website, www.angelsplacenola.org, and they can make a donation there. We have a Facebook page that they can go make a donation at, or they can call the office and send a check or whatever, come by and drop something off. We do take credit card donations. We're dependent on that because it's not easy to do this when your child's diagnosed with a life-threatening disease, and I don't have kids.
Do you have any kids?
I don't have any kids.
You don't have any biological kids, but you have kids.
I do have these 90
of them
kids
right now.
that depend on me to pull this off, and so when you have a child that's sick, it can be. I mean, the first things the parents think of are, is my child going to die? Is this going to be financially hard on my? Sometimes a parent has to quit a job to take care of the child. If they have both working parents, if it's a single mom or a single dad, we see a lot of that now. That it's just really hard to provide while you're sitting in the hospital dealing with this. At Ochsner, you can't leave a child alone. And like at any time, somebody has to be in there, a parent or somebody has to be in there with the child 24/7.
Wow.
I think it is up to a certain age. So that's where we step in. Like if we do need to sit with the child for a while, and the parents can go run an errand or go home and take a shower. I mean, that's huge. We can do that. So that's why we work out of 3 hospitals with training volunteers to work out of Ochsner. We just got Ochsner it's been maybe 2 years, and we just starting to get a lot of referrals.
So do the hospital actually help with things besides, or how do they just refer the kids to you guys?
Not really. We wish the hospital. In fact, today I just spoke to somebody at Children's. I said, "Do you realize we do this?" And they were like, "No." I said, "No, not much. Some of the hospital personnel do, but it's mostly the social workers."
So how big is your staff?
I have 3 full-time. I have Ashley, my office manager. I have Mary, my program director, and she manages the clients, and I'm the executive director. I have 1 part-time grant writer, Jules. And we're based in Metairie. We have an office in Metairie, where it's raining right now. We basically work out of the hospitals and where we do some of our events.
So you guys are practically full-time, like 1 o'clock almost, huh?
Yeah. But it's just what we do so needed, and what's different from us than like Make-A-Wish or a Child's Wish or something like that is we're ongoing. Even if the child were to pass away, we had a little 7-year-old Carson who passed away from leukemia. He was 7 years old. Lived in Ponchatoula, and the family. This happened in November. We kept the family on for Christmas because you just stop thinking about it. You just stop thinking about Christmas when you've just lost a child.
I know. That's kind of hard.
Yes, and we still keep in touch with our families. If they need something, they can reach out to us. We even if they were to lose a child, because that's one of the hardest things. Our families kind of feel maybe easier to talk to us than it would be to talk to a doctor or talk to a professional mental health person or something like that. Sometimes they feel better talking to us. You just never know when I'm gonna get a phone call and it's a mom just frustrated. And my
so
first.
You guys kind of like a comfort almost in a way.
Exactly.
Because the doctor got to tell the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. You guys kind of, and doctors sometimes do not deliver that truth in a subtle way.
Or they deliver the news and that's it. They leave.
Exactly.
And the parents are just sitting there devastated, and we kind of step in and we can provide a supportive ear, but it's mostly our services. Like, we are Santa Claus to these families. We are providing the gifts. What we do is, it's really awesome. What we do is we wrap everything up. We put them in these black plastic bags, so the kids don't know what they're getting. And we have a party. And we invite the kids and everything to come by, and we put them in a black bag so the kids don't know what's going on, and the parents sneak it to their car so they can have a Christmas morning.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really good what we do.
So you ever had any kids that you actually like absolutely fell in love with?
Yeah, there are a few. There was a little girl. She was on the North Shore. We have a lot of kids on the North Shore,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to go do the intake. It was one of my first intakes, and an intake means we're meeting them for the first time, and we're getting all the information.
You've got to meet the kids. All
Right. So we go meet them in the hospital once we got the referral, and this little girl was just cute as can be. She was sleeping, and the dad walked up to me and said, they knew I was coming, and he came up to me and said, we don't know what we're doing here. We don't know what's the next step. And I said, just calm down.
Oh, like with the condition?
Right. They had I think 4 kids. This was the baby.
Mm-hmm.
3 boys ahead of the girl. So this was daddy's little girl that was sick.
Mm-hmm.
And they were a little, they just didn't know how to handle this. So I just sat down and I just let them talk. Come to find out one of their biggest worries was gas. So I was able to get them a gas gift card. Later on, she was in and out the hospital, and she was a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But one day I went to go just check on him, and she wasn't eating. And
how old was she?
She was, at the time when we started services, it was she was 5 years old.
Okay.
So that's been about maybe 2 years she's been in our program. And the little girl wasn't eating; she just wasn't hungry. And I happen to have a pizza gift card in the back of my back pocket. I'll grab a few of those if I go into the hospital. You just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to be prepared. And we also bring toys to the kids. We have a set of, like, we call them respite care toys. So we can give the child a toy, and we can and we can talk
at any moment.
Exactly. And that I say that helps them pass time till they find a cure. Mm-hmm. So but this little girl, she wasn't eating, and when I mentioned pizza, she kind of woke up, and that was one of her favorite things. So her lunch came in, and I said, if you eat lunch, I'm gonna leave this gift card with your mom and dad. I said, please, they're gonna let me know if you're gonna have pizza tonight or.
Mm-hmm.
So sure enough, the mom and dad sent me a picture of her they get Papa John's delivered to the
Pretty cool.
to the hospital, and she was able to have pizza that night. So that was awesome. So I mean, but
she's still in the program?
She's still fighting. She's on her last months of chemo, I believe, and she's doing well. So that's one of our wonderful success stories. Sometimes it's not as successful. We just lost an infant. The mother was just grief-stricken. She didn't want to leave the child. She was afraid if she left, the child would die. So we were bringing her sandwiches, and we were bringing her like Subway and stuff, just so she could be taken care of. But I mean, it was. She just didn't. It's hard to let go. Mm-hmm. It's hard to handle that, and I mean, I get that. I mean, as much as.
So you said that the child passed?
The child did pass away.
While she was still there?
She was still there with the baby. Yeah.
Hold up, she was there after the baby passed?
No, she didn't want that to happen.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
So she was there for when the baby passed.
I cry when my kids get sick. So I could, my God.
It's not easy. It's not. I'm laughing because that's, I guess, my defense mechanism.
Oh no, believe me, I understand.
Yeah, it's not easy. I don't go into the hospital as much now because we do have a good amount of volunteers, and if my program director is out, I can take the slack up. But it's not easy to go but they just want to be treated like they're kids. Mm-hmm. Like, that's one thing we can do. We try to, so they're in the hospital, we can bring them a toy so they can be a kid. We can have these events that they all come together and they can play. They can play games. They can do crafts. We have crafts at most of our events. Mm-hmm. And they can be, they can have a Christmas morning with their family, and we can ease that burden of the financial side of that by doing that. So, if they do forget something for the child, we can give them a gift card to go take care of it at Walmart or Walgreens, or if they're worried about gas, we can give them a gas gift card. So, and then every now and then we'll get a special request. we'll get a request to maybe get a special stroller, or one time I had a family ask me about a vehicle, and I didn't know where to even start because we didn't have the money to buy a vehicle. But I just called my mechanic. I didn't know where to start. I said, can you help me here? And
you able to get a vehicle?
we were able.
Wow.
The family had a little money, and they were able to work something out.
Oh, that's pretty
So
cool.
I'm able to bring some people together every now and
That's
then.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
So-
awesome.
Yeah, but we have our ups and downs. There are days when, we wish we could help more, and we know we're limited. But we can also refer our clients to other agencies on possible grants and possible other support. So it's a calling. It's not a job. It's a calling.
Is there any kids you ever had to just pass on and not able to take for any like personal reasons?
There are some illnesses that we that are not, like cystic fibrosis. It's considered. It's not considered life-threatening, and now I'm hearing they're very close to finding a cure for this.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had to pass on a kid with cystic fibrosis. We're hoping if we can grow and be financially sound, that maybe we can take kids that have other things like multiple sclerosis, cystic fibrosis. We have some kids that just had a kid that had Down syndrome and cancer. They had multiple things, so we kind of got to watch it. We got to stay. Our mission is to help kids with what's considered life-threatening diseases, but sometimes they don't fall into that category, so we may have to turn them down, or we turn them because we're limited in resources. So, like right now, we're getting ready to collect school supplies.
School supplies. Okay.
We're collecting school supplies because you got a family of 3 and one child's sick. You don't think about that. August, September comes, and you got to put all this money out for school supplies. So we're doing that right now. So we're collecting all kind of things. We have a list. If anybody's interested, we can get that list out to them. And our back room is going to be full of. It looks like Office Depot blew up. We'll have all the school supplies to help. We'll get this supply list, and we can get them ready with a knapsack and some school supplies. It's crowded in here. Just taking shoes off.
So all you guys so just like you guys your staff is all full time, or you guys do this like full time?
The 3 people that I talked to, me, my program director, and my office manager, are all full time, and we operate out of our office. We do a lot of our distributions out of our office, like we'll give out our school supplies out of our office. We will, and then we do most of our work in the hospital. We'll send volunteers, and my program director in the hospital.
Okay.
My job is to do outreach and just get word out about Angel's Place and what we do, and do the day-to-day operations of the nonprofit. So we probably could use more staff, but we can't afford it right now. So it's just the reality of a nonprofit. It's not an easy job, but what we do is so needed.
It's definitely needed. I have a son with bad asthma, so I spend a lot of time in Children's Hospital with him. He's kind of not growing out of it, but he's getting older now, so he's not basically maintain it.
Right.
And he's 16 now, but back when he was younger, we spent a lot of time in the hospital. And the stuff I saw with the kids, I take asthma any day. It's like I'm grateful for the asthma compared to the other things I done seen what kids go through.
Right.
And so I totally understand where you're coming from and what you're doing. And it's definitely, like a blessing just to have, somebody actually helping.
That's how we say it. It's that's why we're Angel's Place. We're like a guardian angel watching over some of these families a little bit, and it's not easy, but some of them depend on us so much, and we're just trying to get word out. We're really good in like Metairie and Kenner. We're trying to get out into New Orleans, which we're hoping you're helping us with, and getting word out to other places, because we have a lot of kids on the North Shore that have to travel that bridge back and forth to go to Children's.
It's a long bridge.
It's a long bridge. Yeah, actually, my wife travels it with her. She teaches at Mandeville High School, and it's a long bridge. I had to go get her a few times and see, do some activities over there and fundraisers and stuff. So, yeah, we have a fundraiser actually tonight at Blaze Pizza.
I saw it on the website.
Right. We're gonna, from 6 to 9. We're hoping, people can go out there. They'll give us 20% of the bill. So you just got to mention it. You got to show the flyer or show it on your phone, and it's on our Facebook page. But it's just so needed to help. Just let these parents and families know that there's somebody there.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody there. Unlike, like I was getting ready to say this, unlike Make-A-Wish, they do a one-time thing,
mm-hmm.
and it's a wonderful what they do, but it's one time.
One time, that's it.
And that's it. That's it. You're gone. You're done. And we're kind of different because we're ongoing, and even if it's just call the family and say, how's everything going? Let us know if you need anything.
Still there, keeping in touch. And
right, keeping in touch.
Make-A-Wish is a one time, and
yes,
you want to wish, that's it.
That's right, and that's what there's another organization called a Child's Wish that's local, and it's the same thing. It's one time.
One time.
And it's just not easy. So a lot of our families feel isolated, and because of what they're going through. And some people, excuse me, some people, it's too negative to go see that child, and we don't put all that aside. We will walk in there and play with the child and do anything we can to try to make them feel a little bit normal and help the family through the situation. So
you guys get, it might be a crazy question, but everybody's got something negative to say. You guys get any kind of hate, flack, or type of criticism?
No, because I think we're dealing with kids, and we're I think what we do.
I'm saying I can't see how you can say something negative. But the world we live in, people find reasons to, but
well, we're dealing with sick kids too.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like a curse to say something negative about a sick kid.
It's really, if we get some criticism like, well, you're getting paid to do this and everything. Well, somebody has to do it.
Exactly.
Somebody has to make that happen.
Exactly.
I have a program director that trains all the respite care volunteers, and we have a lot of volunteers. It's just
right. You're right. Somebody have to do it.
Somebody has to do it.
The job got to be done.
Sometimes this job it's weeknights, it's weekends.
It ever get overwhelming?
Yes. Every morning when I wake up, it's overwhelming.
Like the not sure if a kid gonna make it, or
is the funding gonna come through? Is a child gonna make it? Whenever we hear that a child dies, it's like losing one of your own. It's really hard, and without getting emotional or anything, I know sometimes my program director, I worry about her because she's in the hospital room, but she's pretty tough, and she's taught me a lot, and I just learned take it in the moment and do what you can for that family at the time, and then you also have several other kids you need to worry about that are dependent on you. So, but it's hard when we lose a child, especially when it's unexpected, or it's hard, and I can just imagine what that family's going through to lose a loved one like that, one of their own kids.
I get goosebumps just thinking about it. And I remember, like I said, not to keep going to Children's Hospital, but my only experience is Children's Hospital. But when my son was there, a kid had passed, and I remember seeing all the nurses and everybody kind of like devastated and down. And I'm like, wow, that wasn't even a kid. But my wife got me to understand that when you work with these kids every single day, it kind of becomes like your kid,
right?
And seeing a kid pass and the adult pass, it's two different situations, So
it's hard either way.
Sort of different way. And it's
it's just there's a little bit more. It's a little bit more amplified when it's a child, and because they have. It's a shorter life. It's when it's adult, they're live a little bit longer. But now the good thing is medical science has made so many advances. There's more advances in curing leukemia, which is probably our number one illness that we see with the children. There's a lot of support out there. The whole month of September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and we got a lot of groups that help us to draw awareness that there's very little funding for childhood cancer, but they're making changes on that. So I guess you have to look at the overall picture, but it's still hard when that child passes. It's not easy. And I remember I think one of the first ones, I took it really hard. Luckily I have some great friends that would check in on me and making sure everything was okay. And I think I went to the funeral that, and that's another thing, it's just hard to take. But, we got to think about what we're doing in our mission and continue on. I think they would want that. So, yeah, but it's still not easy. It's hard to talk about,
I see you.
It's just hard to, but, luckily we're a true nonprofit. We 501c3 status. We have a board of directors that watches over me, and I do the day-to-day operations of the working business, the nonprofit, and we have a lot of volunteers and a lot of groups that help us. We have several Kiwanis clubs that help us. Kiwanis of New Orleans, Moisan Kiwanis, 3rd District Kiwanis, Kenner North helps us. We have a great group of super fans, Saints fans that called the Big Easy Mafia.
Oh, I see them on Facebook a lot.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, Eric Engelhardt, he runs it out of Slidell, and
pretty cool.
They help us raise money, and luckily we have a couple of long-time volunteers that have been with us since the beginning, and they've made my life easier to learn about this and take over this. So it's been awesome.
So when it comes to donations, what's the best way to donate? They help you guys up.
They can either go to our website, again, www.angelsplacenola.org.
So angelsplacenola.org.
New Orleans, Louisiana,
yep.
And .org. And they can go there. There's a button to donate that'll take a credit card donation. They can call our office at 504-455-2620, and they can get more information to ask about making a donation, writing a check, dropping something off. And then our Facebook page, we're under Angels Place Inc. On Facebook, and they can donate something. They can go through PayPal on that.
All right, do you have a GoFundMe or just?
We don't have a GoFundMe, but sometimes some of our families will set up GoFundMes for.
Oh, okay.
So we don't do a GoFundMe for. We just kind of let the family. We can help them set up one if needed. So
it's basically the family do the GoFundMe, but you guys have the.
Yeah, we have the other ways. And we have fundraisers coming up. We're hoping to announce a big fundraiser in the next few weeks that we're working on, kind of like our gala. We have monthly fundraisers. We have a couple of groups that want to try to do something. We just haven't finalized yet, so we don't want to say anything yet because they're still in the works. And but we do have Blaze Pizza tonight, and I'm trying to think if we have anything coming up.
So Blaze Pizza, so people go to Blaze Pizza, and as they buy the
if they show the flyer that's on our website, actually it's on our Facebook page, and they show the flyer or show it on, they can show it on their phone, and they mention Angel's Place, 20% of their bill will be donated back to us. All right. Between 6 and 9 o'clock tonight at the Blaze Pizza on Ferret Street, 5001 Ferret Street. So it's kind of uptown.
So you guys fundraisers, they used to be all over different places? Or
yeah,
you get like
we do try to have them in all different
over.
places. I mean, because we have kids all over. We have, I mean, from Chalmette, we have one little boy from Chalmette who's fighting leukemia. He's doing okay. He's doing okay, but luckily we have respite care volunteers that are in that direction that we can, if they need help, we can send them that direction. So
really cool, man. So once again, Angel's Place, right?
Right.
And one more time, the website to donate?
The website is www.angelsplacenola, ANGELSPLACE NOLA.
I'm actually linking to my description, so but still,
dot
yeah.
.org. O-R-G. Okay.
We take all donations, gift cards.
Yes.
Cash would be better because you could put it where you actually need it.
Right.
So of course, cash is always better.
If they want to do it, we do.
What if people have like clothing drop offs? You do that type of thing?
We got to watch that because we can't bring something that's slightly used into the hospital because of immune systems and things like that.
Oh, okay.
But we can. That's where we do the Walmart gift card because if they do need something, we can give them and they can go buy it new.
Gotcha.
So it just depends on the situation and what we have come. Sometimes we can give things out at our events, but we still try to watch it because we really aren't a dropping off point for clothes.
Yeah.
So and unfortunately it's that way. But they can bring that to Goodwill or there's lots of places that take them.
Okay, yeah.
So but if someone wants to donate a gift card, a Shell gas card, those are needed. The Visa card, Visa or MasterCard, the gift cards, those can be used just about anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. So
that helps. And then, coming up in October, we'll have hoping to have one of our bigger fundraisers. We're going to talk about that. We'll start posting it on Facebook and have that announcement and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then Christmas time, we'll need a lot of help and volunteers at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Christmas is huge.
Yeah, you have 90 kids on your hands. That's a lot of kids.
It's about up to 90. I don't know if we can go much beyond that because we're kind of attached.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard. It's hard. If we got up to 100 kids, I think, I mean, we could because we've gotten a lot of referrals at 3 hospitals now.
So is it growing? Like you think it's growing?
Well,
kind of
the number of referrals is growing. The funding's getting tougher and tougher.
Right. So the number of referrals are growing, but the income,
right,
they kind of catch up.
I mean, and
balance out.
And we're looking for sponsorships. If there's a company that wants to sponsor something, we can work with them. They just need to, get in contact with us to just call the office 455-2620. We're in Metairie.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk to them and see what we can do to collaborate and work with them.
Right, that's pretty cool. And once again, you're not just one day. You're not like we'll just make a wish, and that's one wish.
Right.
You like the stars, just.
Right. We're angels. We're trying to help those families through that journey and be Santa Claus and we're Santa Claus for some families several years. Mm-hmm. So and they come to depend on us. So it's really a tough situation, and it's one of those things. I don't think unless you've been through it that you can really understand. I mean, I've had family members that have been sick, or an aunt or uncle, or but it's more challenging when it's a child because they need supervision, and you just can't take a vacation for 2 weeks and go take care of them, and that's it. That child's going to have that being treated for several months. So. We see parents losing jobs or parents, having to leave a job to take care of that child. So we had a little girl, mother.
That'll cause even more problems once the parents leave the job. That causes lifelong problems.
Right.
Now you're out of work and.
Right. I mean, we had a little child at Children's. It was a 12-year-old little girl, diagnosed with leukemia. Single mom. When I walked into the room, the mom was very nervous. She's like, I just got a job, how am I going to work this into all that? And I said, well, first of all, call the job and let them know what's going on.
Exactly.
We try to advise as much as we can. We're not experts, but sometimes we're just that regular person that can walk in and just show, we care a little bit, and it's awesome that what we can do for them.
Sometimes it's all it takes, that somebody show they care.
And that mother is managing. She's got a little family support, so and we support her when we can. And we just did Christmas for them. It was wonderful, and the little girl's doing okay. So I mean, most of the time they'll get a bone marrow transplant. They're in isolation for so many days. It's hard. It's not easy. They just don't know what the next step is, and I think that's the worst part for our families. They just don't know what that next step could be.
Could turn out to be.
Right. Right.
That's all with anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not knowing. That's where your faith got to kick in. The God belief.
Yep.
Believing the unseen.
Right. And the great unknown's a big fear of them. So I find that one of the worst things.
Well, man, it's been a pleasure, man, and I appreciate you spending your time with me and introducing me to Angel's Place, and I'm gonna definitely help spread the word and do my little part.
Appreciate that. We need our
Definitely.
cheerleaders out there to kind of
Yeah,
really let
definitely,
people know what we're
definitely.
doing. So we need everybody's help there. I appreciate everything you've done for us. Bad weather coming.
Yeah,
But
but thank you again, definitely,
no problem. Thank you.
Mr. Mark Firmin.
That's me.
You got it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.